It turned out that Ryan, Sam, and I were already heading to Florence next, so we traveled together and, en route, stopped off in Pisa for a few hours. I took the free tour of the ornate cathedral of the Archdiocese of Pisa, which is rich in a bunch of medieval Catholic history that I don't really care about. The most entertaining part of visiting this place was watching the hordes of tourists attempting to capture that popular forced perspective photo of the subject trying to hold the building from falling over. Ryan had booked us a hostel about a 30-minute bus ride outside of Florence and a kilometer's walk on a shoulderless road, but it was totally worth it. Founded in 1214, Bigalo Hostel is a 13th century hospital turned monastery set against an idyllic Tuscan backdrop with panoramic Florentine views and a nearly unmatched pastoral Renaissance quality that all added up to making this a very special place. One of my favorite things about staying here was the communal dinner that was offered each night. For about $10, the wonderful staff hosted a pasta dinner served with wine at this huge table on a terrace overlooking the city during sunset. It was a perfect vehicle for having tons of fun socializing with other travelers and gave me a captive audience for some card magic.
This is Damien after one of my card tricks.
Dude, that's a card that doesn't exist, bro. Look through the deck.
Yeah, that's something else.
Is this still the keynote? There was a card, and it was a 13, and there's no such thing as a 13.
These paninis are unreal. We got cured meats, smoked cheeses, fresh tomatoes, truffle cream, crispy but soft panini bread, only €5 a piece. Oh my God, we're in heaven right now. This is how you Florence. Il Duomo di Firenze, or the Cathedral of Florence, which is the third largest in the world, began in 1296 and was structurally completed in 1436. The ornate red, white, and green marble exterior facades weren't completed until centuries later, between 1876 and 1887. The cathedral's dome construction employed then revolutionary inventions and construction techniques that allowed it to be formed without the use of an external wooden support structure and remains the largest brick dome in the world. After over 500 years, the cathedral still stands as one of Europe's most striking and iconic achievements in art, culture, and architecture. And now we're gonna go see this guy named David. He's really tall, he's in great shape, he's kind of quiet. Pro travel tip, David is closed on Mondays. The statue of David is one of several masterpieces created by one of the greatest artists of the Renaissance period and perhaps of all time, Michelangelo. Housed in the Galleria dell'Accademia in Florence and commissioned by the Florentine government in 1501, it was originally intended to adorn the roofline of Florence's cathedral dome. Meticulously carved out of a single block of white marble that was worked on and rejected by two other artists, David stands 17 feet tall, weighs over 12,000 pounds, and is arguably the most famous and recognizable statue in the entire world. Unlike other contemporary David statues, Michelangelo's depiction shows the hero in the moments just before his battle with Goliath, as opposed to the more commonly expressed heroic post-battle representation portrayed by his artistic counterparts. Some of the most striking evidence of Michelangelo's genius can be found in the statue's contrapposto pose, an asymmetrical arrangement of the body first used in sculpting by the ancient Greeks, wherein the line of the arms and shoulders contrasts with, while balancing, those of the hips and legs. David's head and hands are also proportionately larger than normal relative to his size. It is believed that Michelangelo intentionally proportioned these parts larger to increase visibility of them due to the statue's originally intended placement high up on the cathedral dome walkaround. After weathering centuries of outdoor display and even surviving protesters who broke off his left arm in 1527, David was finally moved indoors into the Accademia Gallery in 1873 and has been painstakingly cleaned and restored periodically over many decades since. He was also attacked in 1991 by a deranged Sicilian man who snuck a hammer into the gallery and broke off a piece of David's left second toe. In 2014, the Italian Ministry of Culture installed an anti-seismic base under the statue to counteract the constant micro-earthquakes caused by the footsteps of the 8 million yearly visitors because of stress fractures that were found in the base and ankles. The statue's lifelike appearance, anatomical detail and accuracy, and sheer overall beauty are reflected in Michelangelo's unparalleled knowledge of the human form and unquestionable mastery of this artistic medium, and are just a few of the qualities that make this one of the greatest pieces of art ever created. Renowned throughout the world for its architecture and Renaissance art, Venice is also considered by many to be the world's most beautiful city. It is situated on a group of 118 small islands that are separated by a vast network of canals and linked by over 400 bridges, one of the most famous being the Rialto Bridge. Rebuilt several times over hundreds of years, its final version was completed in 1591, and to this day it remains an architectural icon and popular tourist attraction. Known by such names as the City of Canals, the City of Bridges, the Floating City, Queen of the Adriatic, and many others, Venice's building foundations rest on huge slabs of Istrian limestone that sit atop alder tree pilings sunk deep through mud and sand into a much harder layer of compressed clay. This unique construction method has led to subsidence, or gradual lowering of the surface, and causes seasonal high waters where much of the city's surface is occasionally covered during high tide. After parting ways with my new travel friends, I spent my 3 nights here at the Anda Hostel just outside the city, which is a massive designer hostel with over 700 beds and amenities and activities up the yin-yang. I occupied my days exploring the city and my nights socializing with fellow travelers at the hostel. One of the most popular tourist attractions in Venice is the Basilica San Marco, or St. Mark's Basilica. Construction began in 828 and the building continued to be modified and decorated all the way into the 1500s, with its interior and exterior having been lavished with stunning ornamental features such as gilded statues, bright and intricate frescoes and mosaics, and dozens of masterful showcases of Gothic and Byzantine craftsmanship. Like many in Europe, this basilica is also saturated with a bunch of mundane Roman Catholic history and mythology. One of the highlights of my Venetian tour was a human bodies exhibit that displays real human cadavers preserved through a complex process called plastination. Developed in 1977 by German anatomist Gunther von Hagens, plastination is a process whereby the water and lipid tissues in the body are replaced by curable plastic polymers such as epoxy resin and silicone, creating a much longer preservation of tissue and allowing for more detailed and thorough anatomical and biological research to be conducted. This exhibit duplicated drawings done by Leonardo da Vinci using plastinated human specimens and was quite a spectacle. While I am fully aware that I myself was a tourist, one of the drawbacks to visiting here in late June was the claustrophobic amount of non-filmmaking tourists who are undoubtedly not going to make a movie about their holiday.
One effective way to avoid the exorbitant tourist traps of downtown Venice is to come out here to this island of Murano and get what's called cicchetti. Cicchetti is defined as bread with different toppings on it, like vegetables, meats, and cheeses. So these are on ciabatta, and this is buffalo mozzarella with fresh tomatoes and herbs. This is grilled zucchini with a shrimp cocktail sauce and tomato. And this is aged salami with a porcini mushroom sauce. Porcini mushroom? Yeah. It's very good. Very three-dimensional. I like this place. Plus, they're also playing American gangster rap in here.
All the true gangsters know.
Murano is famous the world over for its unique millefiori glasswork technique, which involves the production of glass rods that are arranged into various cross-cut designs and become viewable when the glass is heated, pulled, and then cut into beads or discs when cooled. Burano is another island nearby that's characterized by small, brightly colored houses that adhere to a specific color system, and residents must submit requests to the local government if they wish to paint their house a different color. The island also features a bell tower at the Church of San Martino that leans almost 6 feet from its original position.
I've been on the train to Milan for about 2 hours now, and I went for my wallet in my backpack. and it's gone.